I know that you ain't feeling your man. You know, you wanna give me a chance. We owe each other this dance tonight. Don't be afraid. Yo, girl, think sexy naughty the way you move in that body.
Hey guys, it's Tina and I am back, and I am here with another Get Ready With Me video featuring this sultry, smoky, glittery eye and a bold vampy lip, and I really love how this turned out. It's kind of the look that I go for nights out, especially in the fall and winter time. When you pair this with a deep dark lip, it's so impactful. It's so vampy and sexy and sultry, and I really love how this came together. And I'm using a bunch of new products that I picked up. I used the Tarte Pro palette for this look, along with one of the Spellbinder shadows from MAC. Yeah, I'm gonna do a swatch and a haul video for these because they're interesting little buggers. I actually have that all over my lid. This one is dynamically charged, not dramatically, dynamically charged, even though I got a dramatic look out of it. And the Tarte Pro palette, which I will also be doing a swatch and review video of. Now, a lot of people are saying that this palette sucks and they sacrificed quality in order to send a bunch of influencers on a trip to Bora Bora, which for sure cost them thousands and thousands of dollars. And I almost feel like speak it into the universe and it will happen, like a placebo effect where you think the palette's gonna be bad, so for you it is bad. And it may not necessarily actually be bad in quality, but because you have been so negative towards it and just you've been thinking that it's gonna be bad so much that it does actually work out to be bad for you. Personally, I like the palette. I'm not in love with it. It's not my favorite palette of all time, but I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be. And it's kind of the catch-22 with these big influencers. You get so much publicity from it, but then with so much publicity and popularity comes a lot of negativity as well. It's like people are looking for you to fail. So anyway, we won't get into that. We're gonna get into this Get Ready With Me video, and it is a talk through Get Ready With Me video. So it's not a voiceover. I'm gonna walk you through the steps and we're just gonna chat our way through the products. And yeah, so if you wanna see this Get Ready With Me video, then stay tuned and I'll talk to you soon. So as you can tell, we already started out the look on one eye. I was just practicing to see if the look made sense and if it came together. So we're gonna continue the look on the other eye and then finish up both eyes together. But I already filled in my eyebrows and now I'm gonna grab my eyeshadow primer. It is the Urban Decay Anti-Aging Primer Potion. And I'm gonna apply this all over my lids to help prevent creasing of my eyeshadows throughout wear. And I love this primer because it does help prevent creasing, but it's also almost moisturizing and soothing to the lids. Next, I'm grabbing a stickier primer. This is the Kat Von D primer in the shade Skin. It's no longer in this type of packaging. They actually have it now in a black tube. And then I'm gonna just blend this out with my Real Techniques Deluxe crease brush. Now, this is a very light primer and it's very good as a sticky primer. So if you need your colors to really stick to your eyelids and really stand out, I suggest getting this primer. And it's one of her cheaper primers. She did come out with color correcting primers that I absolutely detest. I really hate those primers. But this primer, it's like, I think $15 for it. It's a really good eyeshadow base for really intense looks. So I just blend that out all over my lids just to make sure that it's nice and seamless. Now I'll go ahead and grab my transition shade. This is the Makeup Forever M650 Cookie shade, and it's just a matte caramel shade, and I'm gonna go in my crease with an Edgy Funkhouser large crease brush. I have been loving this brush. It's one of my favorite eyeshadow brushes. I can completely say that now. It's just nice and soft and really large and fluffy, so it covers a large area, but it's not scratchy at all. So I really love this brush. It really blends color out beautifully. Now this look is a pretty simple look. All I need is a couple of dark browns. So I'm grabbing my Tarte Pro palette from Tarte, and I'm going to grab the matte dark brown shade in the last row. It's called Edgy. You can see it's a warmer chocolatey brown shade. And I'm actually grabbing a Morphe MB25 brush. I'm just trying these brushes out because you know what? I hear so many YouTubers scream about Morphe brushes and how great they are. And to be honest, the ones that I picked up so far are very scratchy. And I hear YouTubers just rave about how soft they are. And I'm like, that is such a lie. Like these rose gold brushes here, I picked these up as well. And I was trying them out earlier and they are so super scratchy. These brushes, I have the R38, the R39, and this one is the R40. These are nice blending brushes and they look great. And when I saw them in the store, I went to California, by the way. That's why, I went to check these out. I saw these and I'm like, oh, those are so good. Those are gonna be great because they are similar to the MAC 217 brush, it's reminiscent of that kind of shape and it has the white bristles and they feel relatively soft to the touch. So I was like, all right, let me try them out. When you put them on your eyes, guys, it starts scratching at your lids. They're not soft bristles at all. Soft to your fingers, but not soft on your eyes. They were just a complete disaster, and I know I'm a little bit jaded by influencers that do have Morphe discount codes that they do benefit from. Like their affiliate codes, they get money off of the sales and the purchases that you guys make when they recommend products. So I am just like, are you kidding me? This is such crap. Anyway, I'm gonna grab one of these Spellbinder eyeshadows from MAC. It is in the shade Dramatically Charged. It is kind of the deep bronzy shade. Now I'm gonna dampen a Rite Aid eyeshadow brush with a little bit of my Smashbox primer water, just a little bit, because this pigment, it's a pressed pigment and it's magnetized. It's such an interesting and different product. And I like it. Like, look at this. Do you see that? It applies beautifully, but you do have to be careful with it because if you apply it completely dry to a dry lid, it's not gonna stick the best and it does get very messy. And they clump, the eyeshadow kind of clumps off. It's weird. It's a different formula from anything I've ever tried, and I think it's different from anything that's on the market because it is magnetized, which makes me a little bit nervous because that means something metallic is in the formula, and metals on your skin, that's not exactly the best thing. So it makes me very nervous. I'm gonna check to see the ingredients. Maybe it's just iron oxides, which I don't think those are necessarily the best thing for your skin, but they're in so many products, so it's not necessarily a bad ingredient, but I just want to, I don't know. But anyhow, that applies beautifully, right? But if you apply it dry, the formula tends to just dust away and it gets very messy and it just gets all over the place. So I like applying it with a damp synthetic brush. That actually works best for me. Now I'm going to grab another color from the Tarte palette. I'm gonna grab the shade Smoked, which is the deep dark espresso brown in the top row. That one is a rich, deep shade. Now I will say with this palette, I've heard people saying that the quality isn't the best and they hate the palette, and oh, the Bora Bora trip must have cost a lot because they really skimped on the quality of the eyeshadows, and I don't think the eyeshadows are bad. Like, look at this. I mean, granted, I will say this is a very great primer for really getting pigmentation from products. So even some of the worst eyeshadows are gonna perform pretty decently over this primer. So this primer is definitely helping with the pigmentation, but the eyeshadows to me are the same thing as their other Tartelette palette. So the Tartelette in Bloom and the regular Tartelette palette, it's the same kind of formulation to me. I don't feel a difference. And the only thing I would complain about, to be honest, is that these two rows, the lighter two rows, do come off with a gray cast and they can look very ashen on darker skin. So my skin, they can come off a little bit too ashen and they do dull down a lot. And I have found that blending these eyeshadows out over a regular primer, they can blend out and get dull. not patchy necessarily, but they dull out, like the pigmentation fades away. I don't know, like I don't know what to think about that, but we're gonna continue with the look. We're gonna grab Pinup from Tarte as well. This is their Tarte's Metallic Shadows. This is the light white one. It has a golden reflect to it, and I'm using actually one of the Morphe G27 gunmetal brushes, and I like the shape of it because it is like a dome shape large pencil brush. It's not a small pencil brush, so it's not like a exact design, but it does get into small spaces such as the inner tear duct. So I'm just applying that to the inner tear duct and then blending out the edges. Now the gunmetal brushes were for me the biggest failure because they pop apart so easily. Like, all right, this is not gonna happen with this one because I glued it into place, but the handle and the ferrule pop off. I just wanted to note that for you guys because they're not the highest quality brushes. They're not the most well made at all. And you kind of pay for what you get because they're really inexpensive. But at the same time, they're inexpensive brushes at the drugstore that are really good as well. So yeah. I'm gonna grab an Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Eyeliner. This is the shade Midnight Cowboy. I think most people have this one. This is the one that everybody goes crazy about because I forget, who was it on Instagram that made it really famous? It's one of those famous Instagrammers. I forget her name right now. But you know who I'm talking. If you are on Instagram and you follow beauty channels, you will know exactly who I'm talking about. But I'm just applying a little bit of this glitter over the center of the lid just to add a little bit more zhuzh to the center to make it really pop and really shine. And then I'll just go back in with the blending brush from Morphe, which this one I don't mind. This is the Morphe MB25, like I said. This one is actually very soft. This one feels like more of a synthetic. So it's a very soft synthetic. It's a little spiky though, if you go against your skin like that, but if you just go back and forth, it's not bad. So this one is not a bad one at all. So far I've been liking this one, so we'll see how that goes. Now let's apply some mascara. It's my Too Faced Better Than Sex. I think that goes without saying by now, but I'm just gonna apply a quick layer of this. And what I've really enjoyed doing with this is using the L'Oreal mascara primer. Oh my god, that is so good. You put that on, let it dry for like a few seconds. Don't let it dry completely because then it's almost impossible to apply the mascara after that. It gets really dry and spiky. Just a few seconds and then you go over with the mascara and they're full and they're large and in charge. They're really great. So I'm gonna grab eyelashes. These are my House of Lashes Siren lashes. Siren. That's so Jamaican. Siren. And they're just, you know, bunches of lashes and they're gonna add fullness. So I'm gonna apply the glue and let that set for a second. Now while the glue sets up on the lashes, I'm gonna go ahead and do some stuff with the face. So I'm gonna grab my Josie Maran Surreal Skin Argan Finishing Balm. Guys, listen, if you haven't picked this up yet, you don't know what you are missing. Now, the thing about this balm is it's meant as a skincare product, but they also say it doubles as a skin primer. And you don't really rub it into your skin like lotion. You kind of, well, I press it in. So what I'm doing is pressing it into my skin and patting it at the same time. And that's just to make sure that it sinks into the skin. So don't really rub it in like a moisturizer or a primer. Just kind of tap it in. And I don't know that I even thought about it when I was applying it. I think just the texture of it just automatically had me doing that as to apply it. Does that make sense? Like the texture of it just leads you to tap it in that motion. So just tap it in. And I recommend this for anyone to check out. Oily, combination, normal, dry skin. It's so fantastic. So now my skin feels really smooth, really soft and nourished. And then my makeup is going to apply really well. And it stays in place and looks beautiful throughout the day. Like beautiful. Now let's just go ahead and pop these lashes on. The glue is ready. So I'm just going to grab my little eyelash applicator that I am so glad to have. I got this as a gift with purchase, so I don't know where you can buy this one specifically, but if you search for flat tweezers on eBay, you will find them popping up all over the place. And I've linked it before. where I found it on eBay. But for eBay, it's like I don't have a seller that I've used that I'm like, I can highly recommend. This is just, I've found similar looking applicators to this, and it's really, it just looks like that. It's flat tweezers and it works really well and I love it. So now that our skin is all ready, I'm gonna let this glue dry down. I found that with this skin balm, it really helps with troublesome foundations, specifically the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation. That this guy is such a troublesome foundation, and a lot of people have mentioned that it's okay. Like, it's not my favorite foundation, and it takes work to make it look good, and you have to get the right color. So this shade is Cool Golden, which I waited for this to debut. It debuted later than the other shades. It took like 3 months for it to, I'll go with 2 months because it just came out. And this is the shade, which one is this? Amber. Now the two shades are completely different. I was using Amber before and it was just not working out and it looked ugly on my skin. And since getting Cool Amber, it looks a lot better. And you know what? That is not something that is like out of the norm, because the Makeup Forever HD foundation stick, I felt the same way about that. I did not like that foundation stick when I didn't have the right shade. Once I got the shade that matched me and worked with my skin tones, it actually isn't a bad one at all, and I actually do like that one. So you just have to get the right shade match sometimes in foundations to actually like them and for them to actually work for your skin. Because if it's a bad shade match, you can really hate the product because it just doesn't match your skin and it looks awful when you apply it. So Cool Golden really helped me like the foundation to an extent. I don't love it and I don't like it a lot either. I don't really, it's not like I really like it. Like, I wouldn't go on a third date with it. I go on a second date, but not a third date. Does that make sense? And I wouldn't recommend it to most people, especially beginners, because it takes some getting used to. It takes some maneuvering to make it work. You have to figure out the correct primer for it, the correct moisturizer for it to work. It can settle into lines, it can settle into pores and make your skin look so bad. But if you do it just right, it's like the Goldilocks. You have to get it just right for it to actually look good on your skin. And I know for sure most people can't be bothered with that, so that's something to consider. But I'm gonna grab my Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer from Urban Decay. This is in the shade Medium Dark Warm. I'm gonna apply a little bit of that under my eyes. This is the really light shade that I have. And now I'm gonna grab the Urban Decay, the same thing. Why am I repeating the name? In Dark Neutral, which is the shade I typically use. And this matches my skin tone the best. And using this with the lighter shade just adds to my under eyes. It makes it a little bolder, a little brighter. Adds to my under eyes. It just makes it brighter under there, but without being overwhelming, because I don't like that bright under eye look. It doesn't look very natural, obviously, and for me I don't like how it looks. That's just me. Some people really love that. I just don't like it, and I don't like seeing it on people, especially darker skin women. When you see light foundation here and then dark, it looks like a beard because it's like dark hair, really light hair. It just looks very unnatural and very weird. And when my chocolate skin ladies do that, it looks so ashy and it just doesn't complement their skin, and the melanin isn't shining through and looking juicy, and just, it doesn't look right. I don't like that. But anyway, we have all that on, so I'm gonna grab some of my La Prairie Cellular Treatment Loose Powder. I'm gonna grab a little bit of that. I like this loose powder too for how they have the little tray here. It works really great. Grabbing some of that, and I'm going to apply that under my eyes and set that concealer in place. And this also adds to the brightness of the concealer, and it really helps smooth the skin. Like, your skin looks so great when you apply this. So I'm just going to apply, you know what? Yeah, just pull a little bit of that over most of my skin. and it's translucent too, so it has a little bit of a tint to it. And even though it's a translucent powder, I need this tint in it so it doesn't look stark on my darker skin. So if you're darker skin, just definitely go for translucent too. It has more of a tint, a beige tint to it that actually makes it blend in with our skin a lot better. So just pounce that over my skin using my beloved Tarte Powder Player Brush. Alright, so now that we have that down, let's go ahead and finish up the eyes. And what I'm gonna do really quickly is clamp my natural lashes together with the false eyelashes. This is my Shoot More S Curler lash curler, and I love it because it's cage free and it's really small, and I've been rocking with it for years and it works really well. Just to make sure my natural lashes get together and have fun with the false eyelashes. And I'm gonna do some color on the lower lash line, which I always do when I do a very simple, well, this is not simple, but it's a neutral color, right? So I'm gonna grab the Marine Ultra Chromographic pencil from MAC, and this is just their bright blue shade, and I'm gonna apply that to my lower waterline area, making sure that a little bit of it also gets on that lower lash line. So pulling the color down, almost holding it at an angle so a little of the color gets right on that lower lash line area. This is a bold blue color, but it's not too bright or intense where it's just like, whoa, what are you doing? It's a nice, bright, bold blue without being neon. And it's great for those of you who are afraid of color. Use color on the lower lash line. That's the easiest way to incorporate color in a look. And also, if you have brown eyes, blue and purples on the lower lash line really make your eyes sing. So go ahead, play with color. What I'm gonna do is grab the shimmery shade here, this bold kind of peacock looking shade. This is Trendy from the Tarte palette, so we're still using the same palette. And I'm gonna grab that just on the edge of my MAC 242 brush, and we're gonna just apply this right now to the lower lash line area and blend it in with that extra blue eyeliner that we should have on that lower waterline. And I'm making it thicker on the outer edge and then really thinning it out as we come towards the inner tear duct area. But we want that color to really sing on those lower lashes. Oh, that is so pretty. See that? Do the same thing on the other eye. I'm turning the brush at an angle so it blends and fades the color downward as I apply it to the lower lashes. Ooh, that is so pretty, right? Alright, so now let's go ahead and grab the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara and do some work on those lower lashes. I love this mascara for the lower lash line area. It's just great for grabbing those little baby lashes and really pulling them out and intensifying them. And the brush, the wand has a lot to do with it, but the formula of the mascara is also pretty great. It works well on the upper lashes as well, but I just love it for my lower lashes to make them really stand out and pop. Alright, so now let's go ahead and finish up the rest of the skin. I'm gonna go in with blush first. This is the Amour blush from NARS. I'm just gonna pop a little bit of that on my cheek area. Now this is a beautiful rosy blush from NARS. It's very natural on my skin tone. It blends in really nicely. You know, NARS blushes, great formula. Just let's talk about it. They have one of the best blush formulas. And I love this blush, and I like to do blush first because once I put my blush on, then I can contour, and the contour can cut that blush, because you see how my blush is all over the place right now? The contour will help to clean that up. So I just applied the blush, not too precisely, I just do it a little bit sloppily. Now I'm gonna go in with my contour. What I'm gonna use is my Black Up Contour in Trio. I got this in one of my recent hauls, and I haven't used it that much yet. So I'm gonna grab my Marc Jacobs the shape brush, and oh, that is intense. So just gonna apply a little bit of that, then I'm gonna wipe off the excess off on a washcloth. I actually sit on a bath towel. My bath towel covers my chair, and I wipe my brushes off on that towel. So I sit on a white chair, as you can see. I don't want to get that messy, and I'm not going to wipe it off in my clothes, so I put a towel right beneath me and I sit on a cushion. And then I just wipe things off on the towel itself, and it's really convenient because, you know, you want to get rid of some excess product, just wipe that brush off right down there, right? That is a nice little contour situation. Not too crazy, not too intense. I'm going to also apply a little bit of that on my temple area. So right there, you can actually see how intense that is. Wow. Right there on my temple. I did get a new lens for my camera. So it's not a new camera, it's a new lens. And I'm getting used to it, but so far, like, I love it. I love the clarity of it. Like, I'm very crisp right now, and then my background is blurred. The only thing is I don't like the autofocus setting because it ticks and you can actually hear it when it's trying to autofocus. I'm leaving it in manual focus, which is fine because that works fine. And I'm just creating a little bit of shadow with this powder. But the manual focus works fine because right now I'm in this space where I'm in focus. And then when I change, I can just move it around. But the clarity, I love this. This is a really good lens. I'll leave it linked below. It's expensive, but you don't need an expensive camera body to go with it. So you can cheap out on the camera body, up it on the lens, and you're good. I use a T5i, by the way, if anybody's interested from Canon. Now for the lips, I decided to actually use one of the Huda Beauty lip kits that I got. I don't think she's calling it a lip kit. What she called it? A lip contour set. And it has 2 lip colors in there. So there are 2 miniature lip colors and then a lip pencil. So I'm going to use the lip pencil in the shade Vixen along with the Vixen lip color. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, just a little, not too much, so you can see this. Alright, so now we're going to go in with the lip pencil, and I'm hoping this color goes with the eyes. It might be a little bit too red-brown, but we'll see how it goes. Just outline my lips, and I'm not going to talk through this obs. Okay, what I can say about this lip pencil is it's gliding on beautifully. It's not dry, it's not tugging, but at the same time it's not overly creamy where it's slipping around. It's just gliding on really nicely. So far, A+. Now I'm just gonna feather in the color a little bit. Not too much, I'm not filling in my lips completely. Alright, now let's go in with the lip color. So it's the Liquid Matte Lipstick. I'm gonna shake it up. It's the same shade as the lip pencil, so it's Vixen. So I think this might actually be okay. Let's see how this applies. It's very liquidy. Like right away, it's very liquidy, but oh my god, it feels so liquidy like it's gonna run off my lips. So I'm just gonna, remove some of that excess product. That is very, very liquidy. I'm a little bit nervous about it because I don't want it to go over the lines too much. And when formulas are very runny and very liquidy, that can be a problem. So I'm going to try to keep within the lines as much as I can. Okay, it's still very wet. So I'm going to see how this sets down and see if I need to layer it up again because it's thin, very watery, and I feel like it's gonna thin out on my lips. So I'm gonna see how long this takes to dry down. So it takes roughly a minute to really set down. Right now it's set down. If I do that, I feel a little tackiness, but it's not sticky at all. So what I'm gonna do is apply another layer just to make sure, and then try to crisp up the lines a little bit. I'm grabbing my Smith Cosmetics 302 lip brush for this, and I'm just gonna try to create a sharper outline on the upper lip. so I layered that color up and it applied nicely, but it still has a tack to it. So it's not a complete flat matte finish where you won't feel a little bit of stickiness. It is not my favorite because it didn't quite layer up that great, and it still has a little bit of sheerness on the inner part of my lip. But beautiful color. I'm okay with it. It's just not my favorite formula, and that's okay. You know, not everything is gonna be your favorite. I mean, that's what a favorite is for. But we'll see how this feels in a little bit. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of highlighter. I'm using the Estée Lauder and Victoria Beckham highlighter. It's the Modern Mercury color. I know a lot of people were trying to get their hands on this and it's sold out, but it's like, it didn't sell out as quickly as I expected it to. I was able to get it like a day later, so it didn't sell out instantly. I was still able to find it, and I think it was still available even a couple days after that. So it wasn't this ultra limited edition product. You could still get your hands on it. But I'm applying that with a Inglot 4SS brush. I actually really love this brush for highlight. It's small. It's like a large eyeshadow blending brush. Obviously too large for your eyes, but it's an oversized eyeshadow blending brush. It has that similar shape to it, and it just works great to get that precise highlight on the tops of your cheekbones. I'm actually going to go ahead and contour my nose a little bit too, and I'm using another Morphe brush. This is another one of their rose gold edition brushes. This one is the R11, and I picked these brushes up on my trip to LA, which was a very quick trip, like extremely quick. Did I tell you this was the R11? Yes, I think I did. I'm gonna apply this along the sides of my nose. Now, if this is a little scratchy, it's not that big a deal because it's not on my eyes, where my eyes are very sensitive. On your face, it's not, you know, as critical for it to be ultra soft. So it's actually feeling comfortable. A nice, I guess, softness to it. It isn't ultra soft and, you know, really fluffy or anything. It's just a stiffer goat-haired brush. And I actually don't mind how it feels at all. Actually, I kind of like it. And the shape is great for contouring your nose, since that is what I am using it for, and that's what I picked it up for. I was like, oh, this is a perfect shape and flatness, like it's a large eyeshadow shader brush, you see? Very perfect size and shape for doing exactly what I'm doing, which is contouring my nose. So I'm actually glad I got this one. This one, if anything, I would tell you, go ahead and get that. I don't have a discount code, but just go ahead and choose one of your favorite affiliates and use their code and get them to stay. Like, actually, that sounds so bad. We can use the code in store. I actually use the code for Kathleen Lights because I like her. I think she's one of the more genuine ones I've seen here on YouTube that has large numbers. She's such a, like, I don't know, she just comes off as a very genuine person. I might be jinxing it right now. She might turn out to be a twat in a second, but no, that's terrible. It's terrible. No, she has, over the years I've been watching her for over a year, probably 2 years now. She's always just struck me as a genuine person, and it comes off in her videos. She never seems to be pushing Morphe products either. She'll show them, she'll use them, but she's never like, oh, I have a code with them and this is the softest brush ever and you should get this because it's so awesome, oh my god, and this is in my favorites video, you know what I mean? And she had a palette with them recently. It just came out actually, just like very recent, and it sold out, and I'm so happy for her that her things sell out. Oh, I'm grabbing a little bit of the Mirage eyeshadow and I'm gonna put it right at the center of the bridge of my nose. And like I said, I love this highlight under my brows, but it also works well in the bridge of your nose. So like right at the center, instead of using like a shimmery highlight, this is a beautiful way to do it. You just use a more satin finish color and just pop it right there. So you'll still see it, but it's not gonna be as intense. So let's see how, yeah, that actually blended out pretty nicely. So here's the finished look, guys. I really love how this turned out. It's a very beautiful vampy smoky look that's perfect for a night out, perfect for the fall time because it is so sultry and deep. And I love all the products that I use. Like, not one product really failed me, and I know that the Tarte's palette has been getting a lot of flack, and I did use a stickier primer to help it along, so take that for what it's worth. But overall, I really love the look that came out of it. It's a very simple look, easy to recreate, so if you do recreate it, definitely tag me, let me see what you guys have done. And if you missed any of the products, I'll list them down below as usual in the description box. That's always what I do. I also leave links to my Instagram and Twitter where you can follow me along, and you will get sneak peeks of swatches and a quick review on Instagram for products that I recently hauled as well. So I may not get a video up right away, but you will see swatches on my Instagram if you definitely check that out. Follow me along so you can keep up. And then for every day, I'm on Twitter. I'm just chatting, not really anything massively beauty related, but I just chat and speak my mind on Twitter. So if you want to follow me there as well, you can follow along. And until my next video, which will be very soon, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.